Hello and welcome to the Strike a Balance podcast for Working Homeschool Moms. This is Charlotte Jones. I'm a homeschool coach and homeschooling mom of twin boys. I know it can feel really overwhelming to keep all the balls in the air all the time. So each week I chat about tips and strategies for being a happy and thriving working homeschool mom that you can implement in your life too. I also speak to awesome and inspiring women who manage to juggle homeschooling and work successfully and find out what their secrets are. Be sure to check out my time audit and mindset challenge in the show notes and sign up to my newsletter for lots of cool freebies. And if you ever need to chat, please book in a session with me. I'm so excited for you to be here and I hope you'll get so much value out of this episode. So let's get started. Are you looking for a new math curriculum? Well, I'm thrilled to introduce our favorite math curriculum to you. CTCMath specializes in providing online video tutorials that take a multi-sensory approach to learning. Favorably reviewed in Cathy Duffy's 102 Top Picks and the old Schoolhouse crew review, the lessons are short and concise to help your children break down concepts and appreciate math in a whole new way. The lessons are taught the traditional way and not to a test. Each one of the video tutorials is taught by an internationally acclaimed teacher, Pat Murray, who is renowned for teaching math concepts in a simple, easy-to-understand way and in only a few minutes at a time. Using a multi-sensory approach means having the combination of effective graphics and animation synchronized with the voice of a friendly teacher together with a practical assessment. This three-pronged attack makes learning so much easier and more effective. Even students who struggled with math are getting fantastic results, and ones who were doing okay before are now doing brilliantly. Visit CTCMath.com today to start your free trial. CTC Maths is generously offering my listeners an amazing special. Go to www.ctcmath.com/MLH to get a half-price discount plus a bonus 6 months for free. That's ctcmath.com/MLH. Hello, today is episode 38 of the Strike a Balance podcast for Working Homeschool Moms. And today's topic is for those moms who feel like they're not doing enough homeschooling. But before we get started, I would like to kindly ask you to please rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast because it will help other working homeschool moms to find the show. It's my mission and passion to support as many working homeschool moms as I can. So I thank you in advance. In a recent poll on my Facebook group for Working Homeschool Moms, I discovered that a common struggle is feeling like you don't have enough homeschool time in your day. And I know this uncomfortable and worrying feeling because I've definitely felt it, and I'm sure I will feel it again in the future as we go through different seasons. But as I'm quite a few years into the homeschooling journey, I've learned some ways to overcome this anxiety when it crops up. The strategies are part mindset and part practical because that's just how I roll. I hope this episode will give you some reassurance and confidence when you feel like you're not doing enough. So let's quickly investigate where this feeling of not doing enough comes from. I know that not everyone is the same, obviously, but I'm sure you're probably feeling at least one of these doubts or concerns. You might feel like you're not qualified to homeschool your child. Now, I know this might not seem directly linked to not having enough homeschool time in the day, but when you think you're not doing a good job, you feel like you need to do more and more. And this type of need is never going to be fulfilled because it's linked to something deeper than the time spent. It's linked to your confidence and your belief in your abilities. You might also be trying to recreate school at home. And this is very common and it makes total sense. I get it. If you went to a public school, your idea of a school day is based on that. So this means 8 hours of learning or being in a classroom sitting at a desk for extended periods of time. Maybe everything is really flowing and easy. And this could also be a cause for alarm. Homeschooling might be a breeze for you. Your kids are super engaged and you're loving every minute of the day. And this might strike you as wrong because lots and lots of people struggle at the beginning. So these are just some of the causes that I've come across by speaking to my podcast guests and with my homeschooling community. But let's look at some ways to overcome this feeling now. So let's talk about the mindset stuff first because I really believe it's the basis of everything. So if it's really, really important to you, make homeschooling one of your non-negotiable priorities because you will always find time for what you want to do. Then put it in your planner or your calendar and let people know that you are not available during this time. So that will mean no interruptions It will mean no meetings can be scheduled during this time. And as I've spoken about it before with self-care, once it's in the schedule, you are much more likely to do it. You've got a reminder that pops up and it's there for you to read in black and white or whatever color your planner or calendar is. And always remember your why, because this will really get you through times of doubt and stress, because your goal will always be top of mind. So you can journal about it, have it as your phone lock screen. I love that. I always do that with goals that I'm trying to manifest, or use it as an affirmation when you meditate. And be mindful and grateful for what you have. I know this sounds really woo-woo, but when you're living in the present moment, you can appreciate what you have. You can also see more clearly that you're doing your best. And these practices are really good for alleviating feelings of guilt and anxiety too. Okay, so enough of the airy-fairy stuff. Let's get down to business. So what are some ways to get enough homeschool time into your day? The first thing you can do is to homeschool year-round. Obviously, I know this might not work for everyone, but most families who do this, like us, swear by it. And there are loads of benefits. It takes the pressure off because your homeschool hours are spread throughout the year. So this means you can do less in a day. In fact, we only do 4 hours a week and manage just fine. We actually did 2 maths grades in 1 year using this method. And it also means that when you do need to take a break, when everybody's really frazzled, you can do it without feeling worried about not doing enough. You can also avoid the after vacation reluctance. And trust me that this is absolutely no joke. For us, it takes ages to get back into homeschooling after even a short break. And it's really hard to get things done. So if you homeschool year round, you avoid this time where you don't really get homeschooling done, which can obviously make you feel like you're not doing enough. The next thing to do is to readjust your thinking about how much learning time kids need. And you might be surprised that kids don't actually need as many hours as you think to do book work or more structured learning. The 8-hour-a-day idea is based on the public school model, which was created for people who are working 8 hours a day. But kids can't actually concentrate for that long. So Christine from this homeschool house has a great post about how many hours kids need to learn. Obviously, it's just a rough guide, but she suggests preschool, 0 to 30 minutes. And I totally get that. Kids in preschool can play and learn so much. Elementary, 30 minutes to 2 hours. Middle school, 1.5 hours to 3 hours. And high school, 2 to 4 hours. And I know that might actually be quite surprising considering kids are at school for 8 hours a day. Something else to remember is that kids are constantly learning. As long as you provide them with opportunities to read and explore and investigate, they're going to be taking in so much natural knowledge, and they're going to be doing it in a very engaged way. And that's why unschooling or interest-led learning is so effective, because kids learn what they want to learn. And when kids are motivated, they are invested. And this is what you want, because this is how you have successful learning. The quality of homeschooling means you need less time. Your kids are going to be getting so much one-on-one attention, which they probably wouldn't have received in a classroom of 30 kids. So they're going to progress in leaps and bounds, not to mention the fact that you can create a learning environment that's suited to their learning style. I know many people who take their kids out of school for this very reason, like us, because the learning style of their kids just wasn't taken into account. Obviously, it's not possible because, you can't do it for 30 different kids. But that's the beauty of homeschooling, is you can create that environment where kids can learn in a way that really suits them. And another thing to do is to find that energy sweet spot. When both you and your kids are feeling energetic, homeschooling is going to be so much more effective. So it's worth it to find out when you're all going to be the most receptive and to get creative with your schedule so that it works for everyone. This could be afternoons or early mornings or weekends or evenings. When you find that energy sweet spot, it will mean you can get a lot done because everyone is in the mood for homeschooling. And this includes you. And there will be a lot less reluctance and resistance, which is a big time waster and definitely not conducive to happy learning. Okay, so my final thoughts on enough homeschool time. As a working homeschool mom, you have so much to juggle, but with some patience, mindfulness, and practice, you can create a schedule that's going to mean homeschooling success for your kids. It is 110% possible. Just make sure that you are also getting everything you need, because it's absolutely vital that you're as successful and happy as your kids are. I really hope you enjoyed the episode. Drop me a DM on Instagram or post on the Working Homeschool Moms support group over on Facebook. And let me know what resonated the most with you. It would also be great if you could rate, review, and subscribe, or share the podcast with a working homeschool mom who might need it. It's my mission to support as many working homeschool moms as possible. Until next time, take care. Hello and welcome to the Strike a Balance podcast for working homeschool moms. This is Charlotte Jones. I'm a homeschool coach and homeschooling mom of twin boys. I know it can feel really overwhelming to keep all the balls in the air all the time. So each week I chat about tips and strategies